Go.
Welcome to Kinky and the Geeks. Fuck. Stuffing things and trying to maneuver through Atlanta traffic, or at least parked traffic. This is Kinky and the Geeks Wayhomer. ConWayhomer for Dragon Con.
2012.
2012. Which I think is the first one we've done. So, where to begin? Dragon Con. If you do not know Dragon Con, you haven't listened to our show, and why the hell are you watching this? Dragon Con is a 4-day multimedia, meaning covering everything from science fiction books to horror movies, all the wonderful nerd pop culture that surrounds us. And they hold it for 4 days in the middle of downtown Atlanta that encompasses 5 hotels and 40,000 plus like-minded people.
Woohoo!
It's probably the one convention that if someone put a gun to my head and told me I could only go to one a year, this one would be it. This is the one I've been going to the longest. I've been going to this convention since the second one in 1988. I is old. You can see it in the beard. It's kind of hard to kind of sum up in a few words if you've never been. It is massive. It's like I said, it's 50,000 people, encompassing 5 hotels and over 30 different tracks of stuff. Everything from Wheel of Time to animation and everything in between. What was interesting is this year we did something that some people started doing a couple of years ago. As it used to be, Dragon Con used to be 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, your average convention length. And then they moved to Labor Day back in 2001. So it actually encompassed Friday through Monday. It became a 4-day convention. Well, the thing is you could actually go and pick up your badges on Thursday if you were local or if you'd come in to kind of beat the rush of what Saturday could be. Boobies. Very nice boobies. And so as time had gone, Thursday had become kind of an unofficial first day. They started adding bands. You didn't need your badge to go anywhere on a Thursday, but they did start incorporating some bands. Some of the tracks would have their dinner meetups as kind of a, hey, everybody who likes our track, let's go eat here. Well, because Thursday, as it's gone, has become such a huge thing, it turned into people coming in on Wednesdays. So you didn't have to deal with the traffic and the sheer number of people who would start showing up on Thursdays. And so we did that this year. I hate to say it, it's extra money, but I liked coming in on Wednesday. It was really weird, and we have video of this, so you will see of what the convention looks like when there's barely anybody in a hotel. It is weird when you get used to seeing throngs of people hanging out on any given day, and then all of a sudden you come to the hotel and there's nobody here. But it was nice, and I have a feeling we'll probably do it again next year. We actually got to sit down and talk to people that we only normally get to pass by on Wednesdays and on Thursdays. They also did one other thing that I thought was interesting. We didn't make it to it, but the alternative history track was one of the ones that would have a meetup. It had gotten so big, they turned it into a Thursday night pre-party, actually in one of the ballrooms at the Westin. I don't know how that went. I'm sure we'll find out. But so that was interesting. That it's slowly morphing into a 4.5-5 day convention. I mean, there's no real ifs, ands, or buts about it. It does look like it's going to be coming. Yeah. We didn't hit a whole lot of the big panels this year. Even with Iruka and her magic
triple badge,
as our friend Gimpy would
call it.
Just they're kind of I know we abandoned one because it was True Blood, and we had not finished season. The last season ended the Sunday before Con, and we never got around to watching it. And so when we saw it on TV, and the first question was, "So, what did you think of the end of the season?" We were like, "Oh, fuck, yeah, we forgot about that." And honestly, we had so much of the smaller stuff, especially ping-ponging in between Need Coffee and Fred.
We stayed busy. And on top of that, this one decides to get sick right before Con. And it was not at 100%. And unfortunately, a lot of the stuff we were doing was in between, wasn't using the habit trails. We actually had to go out under the day ball. Oh, the humidity.
And the humidity this year it wasn't hot. It was drenched in humidity.
Oh, it was like walking through. You could drown in the air.
Yeah, so.
And as you could probably hear, I'm still sick. But I think I picked something else up while we were at the con, so...
A wonderful con crud. Now, if you don't know what that is, it's basically the disease you tend to pick up when hobnobbing with 40,000 of your closest friends. We ended up, especially Saturday, we ended up just going, you know what? Fuck it. We're not going to force march ourselves into stuff. We're just going to start taking it easy. We took Saturday, we killed basically most of except for the panel we had to do. And then we don't have to do, but we do, as we've said, we do a panel, supernatural panel, every year. And that was the only panel we had to be at. So that was pretty much it. We did some Dealer's Room, never made it to the Walk of Fame.
No. Nothing new for the bar this year, but, that's okay.
So, but I will say, before I switch it over to the cuter one, overall, I had a hell of a lot of fun. I'm paying for it right now, because I'm tired as hell, I haven't eaten yet, but that just seems to be the way it goes. Okay, now Iruka will sing the national anthem. Tell you her views of said convention.
Okay. I had a pretty good time. It's a great panel. I got to go see the voices of Zim and Gur from Invader Zim. That was a blast. They were great. I didn't learn much about the show. Learned a lot about eating curry in the shower and fecal sculpting. But, that's, if you know anything about Invader Zim, yeah, kind of fit. Anyway, so, yeah, great convention. I'm tired. I think I'm getting a sinus infection, but it's worth it. Can't wait to come back next year.
Already planning. So, yeah, one more thing. I actually did the kilt blowing this year, again.
Oh, yeah.
They only did They only did one day this year. Had 80-something guys
Yeah.
do it.
For some reason, some of them were marked something 0.5. So I don't know.
I can tell you exactly where that came from. It was the fact they had 2 people numbering and not Okay, so you're gonna be a jackass. Thanks a lot. Fuck it. I can move around this. Luckily, I know where the hell I am, and oh, that's north anyway. Okay.
Atlanta traffic.
Wonderful. Yeah. It was. Should I tell the story?
Go.
Okay. That we were because it was so big. Normally, what they do is when you do the kilt, you'd come in, you do your 30 seconds, minute bit on the stage with the kilt blowing, and then go off to the side, and the guys would kind of be off to the side and kind of root on the other guys as the women treat us like the meat we is.
Dangly bits. Dangly bits.
So, they had to corral us in one of the other rooms afterwards. So, although we did do, what we did is there were some women, it was, the reason they moved us out was because they miscounted and they were over capacity, and there were literally still a line outside of women wanting to get in. So some of us guys who had already finished went out and gave the ladies a show ourselves. I never saw phones get whipped the fuck out that quick. It was rather funny. So as we were being corralled, a few of us are standing in one of the rooms, and the girl that is running, who is helping Jeannie corral us and number us and kind of keep us in line, then tells us a story. And it's one of these stories. It's like, oh wow, I didn't realize we were having that effect. Jeannie came to the hotel staff after night 1 last year. Came to Jeannie and her staff and said, "I don't know what you're doing. Don't really want to know what you guys are doing. But could you tone it down? We had to throw away some of the seats." So I will let that sink in right there, so you have an idea of what I just said.
Yeah, we girls were enjoying ourselves.
Tell them what Jeannie said.
Oh, okay, so I'm sitting up front, and all the women on the floor, might as well look at me. All the women sitting on the floor in the very, very front, and Jeannie's vamping a little bit. It's not quite time to start. The natives are getting restless.
You can hear from the hallway, kilts, 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 kilts.
Yes. Jeannie said, excuse me. So Jeannie informs us that all the women that are on the floor need to stay seated during this. A, so they don't pop up in front of other people's pictures and block from those of us in the back, but also because, according to her, you can see stains on those carpets pretty easily, and we'd like to keep the minimum of that showing until the end. So, yeah.
Yeah, there were a few guys. It was kind of funny because we had some newbies. Because they have loner kilts. Basically, they have a couple of general sizes, and guys will go and then they'll switch off. And with those, you are told to keep your underwear on. What's funny is when it does. Which is funny, they are told that, but if the underwear shows, the chant of skirt will start.
Yes.
And they had one guy, and I think he did it last year. I remember him from last year because we were talking about the engagement from last year. And he goes up. He was one of the first guys because we were in like the beginning. You can actually still see my number, which was 12. He gets up there and he whips his shirt off. Where there's this guy who's wearing an old Spartan Utilikill with a Robin shirt on, with basically has the uniform shirt in t-shirt form, the uniform, the Robin thing. And he's like, shit, he took my bit. And I just looked at him and said, you know what? It doesn't matter how many of these men you could take off their shirts, so women aren't going to care. And oh no, they really didn't, because I know we were doing the in pose, because we always get one big group pose after the thing. And hearing several of the girls goes, can we have the boy wonder?
So yeah, he had nothing to worry about.
Yeah. So, with enough talking about the kilt blowing, which seems to be, did have two major highlights, I thought, for us. And what's funny is they came towards the beginning and towards the end. There is a wonderful con group called Convoluted that throw parties. And at Dragon Con, they always do the ABC party. ABC standing for anything but clothes. And it's supposed to be a creative DIY, make something out of what other random shit you can get your hands on type thing. And they go to it's an excuse to pretty much wear as little as possible, and wearing stuff like there was up on Facebook, a girl actually talked an Atlanta PD out of his tape. Yes, his scene tape. So we are up in that party. We just come out, meeting up with our roommates, and we're standing there, and all of a sudden I see coming down this hall this line of people, and I recognize one of them immediately, and it's Miss Felicia Day of the Guild fame. And first thing I do is go, honey, you may want to keep yourself calm and turn around. And yes,
I still almost squeed.
Yes, she did very well, though. She did not fangirl out. And it was rather funny because it was her and the guy who plays Zabu, whose name escapes me right now, and Chloe Dykstrand, I think that's her last name, who is the host of the Nerdists show, Just Cause, that they play here, that's on YouTube. And she's with them, and Felicia's a little worried about going in there because she seems to be a little gun shy and also claustrophobic. And if you've never been to a convention party, convention parties can get
very crowded
very quickly. It is, again, you have a lot of people, it's a party, people want to participate. The other one was, but yeah, so they were there and they went in, and she went in for a second. It blew everyone's mind. Even the hardened party people were like, oh my god, Felicia Day came to our party. And the other one is standing outside bar 22 something. It's what they call the bar in the lobby of the Hyatt where we were staying. And where that is, there's a habit trail that goes between the Hyatt and the Marriott Marquis. So making it easier for people to come and go. And it's a good place to sit there and people watch. Well, since Chloe, whose boyfriend is Chris Hardwick, the owner and runner of Nerdist and of House of a Thousand Corpses and Signaled Out fame, he was saying he was coming to Dragon Con strictly as
a guest. He wasn't going there, I'm not as guest, as in one of us, basically. Although someone said he had a press pass on. Which is still a little different than coming as
still not a guest.
Yeah, still not a guest. So, as we're standing there, I see the lovely Miss Chloe go streaking by. A couple of beats later, Mr. Hardwick going by, and that's what I do. I put my hand up, Mr. Hardwick. All I want is a wave. He's like, and it looks like he was going to turn to say hi, but then it was like, wait, I gotta, and I go, no, go chase girlfriend.
Yeah.
And boom, off he goes. Next thing I know is like, hey, I turn around and I was like, hey, proper. Hey, and it's Chris Hardwick and his girlfriend Chloe, who is so cute up close. Coming to shake my hand and say hey, and the proper hey, and it was kind of cool, and I was able to thank him personally because I've been doing, thanks to him and Widget Walls of needcoffee.com. Visit needcoffee.com for all your shit I can't sleep needs. So I got to actually, between the two of them, they introduced me, and by way of me, her, to the 4-hour body, which we've been doing. And successfully doing. It's been in the last 3 months, I have lost 32 pounds. And it has been an incredible diet, the way it is worked. Yes. And I got to thank him face to face for doing it. I had thanked him on Twitter, and he did respond, but
I had to thank him face to face too.
So yeah, to thank him face to face, so I could go. Thank you. You've helped me. And I will say this: I know he'll never see it, but thank you. You are helping me save my life by introducing me to something that will save my life by dropping my pounds and hopefully not looking nearly as large as I am on camera anymore. This is one of the reasons why Widget started doing it, was because he started seeing himself on cam. So yeah, that pretty much sums it up right there. I'm rambling on like a motherfucker. I'm gonna hate to see what this is gonna look like. So, if you've never been to Dragon Con and you want to experience organized fandom chaos, but friendly, go to Dragon Con. It is probably, like I said, my favorite convention to go to. Now, if you will excuse us, we are going to try to get our asses home. And we will see you later. And as we always say here on Kinky and the Geek, be good at it.